Last time, our protagonist Kim Yu-won stayed behind in the third stage of the tutorial, going on a spending spree to obtain high-rank items that will help him climb the tower. Then, standing in wait as the region falls to destruction, the appearance of the low-class demon Sriratra. Yuan thinking that the 176 child asserter must be nerfed for balance, as he's smaller than he was during Ragnarok. The flaming giant looking down on him to find he has the same eyes as Wukong. Sriratra asking if he too will escape this place, summoning a sword of flames and displaying his fiery aura. Yuan easily resists thanks to the effects of the pyromancy robe, stepping forward and declaring that he is going to hunt the giant. Sriratra, sitting on a throne of flames, tells him to say that when he gets here. Yuan then diving into the army of skull demons, leveling up multiple times as he tears his way through their numbers, also blocking the long-range bombardment of Sriratra with the magic nullification shield. He then calls out to the demon to stop with the small fry and come down himself. The demon taking the bait and leaping down, facing him who, despite being qualified to advance and possessing the traits of one that will become a high ranker, chose to stay behind. Sriratra raises his sword and states, "I will be your opponent." Our boy focusing all his fiery chi in his body and blocking with the shield raised. The shield shattering under the immense pressure, taking the hit. Yuan thinking back on Wukong, telling him how he failed the third stage and ended up getting his eyes in the destruction that followed. Sriratra looks at the aftermath, confused, thinking that it felt like he took the attack on purpose. The giant left in shock when Yuan emerges alive from the rubble. Getting to his feet, still thinking about the past with Wukong, who he only bested a few times when they sparred. The main reasons being his Ruyi Jingu staff, the flying nimbus, and his heaven's treasure, infinite magic power. But the biggest reason he was difficult to fight was Cinder Eyes, the ability he just unlocked through the hidden conditions, transforming Monkey's Eyes into the A-rank skill, Cinder Eyes. Yuan, having obtained Cinder Eyes, summons the Arctic Sword, ready to end this hunt. He then swallows 2 ice crystals to lower his body temperature, removing the burn status effect and adding cold energy to his magic power. Then clashing swords with the complete opposite power to Sriratra, raging in his body, with both the pyromancy robe and Cinder Eyes helping Yuan resist his colossal fire. Yuan then disengages the clash of swords and launches forward, delivering a slash to the side of the fire giant. Sriratra then summoning 2 balls of purple fire in return. Yuan using the skill Cinder Eyes to predict the movement of the attack, which allows him to accurately block the powerful attack and explosion. He then swallows 2 more ice crystals, giving him frostbite from the extreme cold in his body, harnessing the cold within him and using the Arctic Sword to dash below the demon and cut his heel to bring him to his knees. Then, using his skill Mana Blast, he creates a massive ball of mana above his head and launches it at Sriratra's head, staggering the giant. Yuan using this opening to jump on his back, resisting the scorching heat of the fire giant at close range, and driving the Arctic Sword imbued with his cold attribute mana into the nape of his head, successfully stopping the destruction of the tutorial with the fall of Sriratra. Yuan grinning in satisfaction, leveling up multiple times and obtaining an unbelievable achievement, the results being delayed due to the impossible achievement. With his body in a mess, he looks over the giant's corpse, thinking let's not complain yet, cause there's a long way to go. Then, taking apart the lower class demon's corpse, he finds an embedded crystal called Giant's Heart, an elixir that bestows the power of the giants and a fixed amount of mana, deciding that in his current state he can't take it right away since it changes his physical body and he would need a lot of stamina. Then, putting it away at the arrival of the administrator, who is under a lot of stress from others because the balance of this tutorial is a mess. The two shaking hands with Yuan receiving 10,000 points and the high rank skill Heavenly Slaying Star. The skill catching our boy off guard as he has never heard of this A+ rank skill that increases all stats by 3 based on the opponents he kills. Then also buying a lesser Scarlet Medicine Ball for 10,000 points. the admin leaving with a goodbye whilst Yuan waits for his injuries to recover with the help of the medicine ball. Yuan taking the next 4 hours to rest before he's transported straight to the 5th tutorial that is a fight with time. Time passes and the area around Yuan warps with the start of the last tutorial. Yuan now finding himself joined up with a crowd of participants who made it to the final tutorial from several worlds, the combined tutorial known as the Collective World, in which the island they're on will sink in 30 days, and the only way they can get the qualification to escape is to hunt the boss monster at the top of the island and CP. Contribution points given for their part in the hunt, their CP score and the remaining time determining the prize they receive should they succeed. Yuan knowing that the fact they were given 30 days means they will need the time to hunt the boss, which shows how powerful it is. Some of the participants then try to form teams, but a mysterious cloaked figure refuses, saying he will choose his own teammates as he can't trust them, and he can tell they are not qualified to be his companions. This scene reminding Yuan that guy was here too, with some of the crowd then rushing the cloaked man, angered at his words, only to be electrocuted by golden lightning. The cloaked man revealing himself to be Hargon, the self-proclaimed heir of Olympus and descendant of Zeus. Our boy impressed by his strength this early in the tower, thinking that's the top purebloods' power. Purebloods being those who were selected to enter the tower after being born and raised inside it, giving them an inevitable edge in knowledge and power over the participants, which isn't fair. Yuan noting that in his previous life, that guy was the #1 contributor in this tutorial. He decides it's best to avoid him and leave, but gets stalked by Hargon, who asks, "Who are you?" Hargon pointing at the pyromancy robe and questioning why he has the item. Yuan simply replying, "I bought it with points." This shocks Hargon, who then bluntly asks what his level is. Yuan telling him he's being a bit disrespectful. Hargon, moving past his words, confidently offers to manage a team together, but our boy has already declined and turned around before he even finishes. The blatant refusal triggering Hargon, who speeds after Yuan, leaving a trail of lightning in his wake. Hargon makes quick work of a bunch of monsters with his lightning as he chases Yuan, but unable to keep up with his pace, he wonders if he too is a pureblood, perhaps even from the Hermes bloodline, the thought giving him a broad smile as now the tutorial is a lot more interesting than he expected. Meanwhile, our boy looks back, impressed by Hargon's monstrous powers that allowed him to keep up for so long, then refocusing on a cave in front of him, slaughtering tens of gnolls inside the cave, which only managed to increase the completion of his heavenly slaying star skill by 0.01%. But he didn't come here to hunt. Instead, spreading the scentless powder and grabbing the giant's heart from the inventory, then biting down on and consuming the elixir. Giants and demons' blood rampaging throughout his body, while Cinder Eyes tries to suppress the heat. He crashes to the floor, overwhelmed by the pressure that feels like his bones and muscles are being distorted, and his blood is running backwards. Yuan remembering the words of Hercules in the midst of the pain, telling him to endure and get as much out of it as possible, and to forget the heart without Cinder Eyes. Various stats increase as Yuan wonders how much time has passed. Then, Cinder Eyes controls the giant's fire, meeting the requirement for the hidden piece and obtaining the skill Colossal Fire. Yuan collapsing in exhaustion, frustrated at acquiring a different skill than they planned. Still in distress on the ground, half a day has passed, when Yuan finally meets the requirements for the hidden piece, completely absorbing the giant's heart in the tutorial district and obtaining gigantification, before closing his eyes, satisfied. Yuan then wakes up half a day later, having passed out twice in this tutorial already, thinking he needs to hurry since Odin, the greatest magic fighter, had set the record clear time at 1 week. Our boy opening the rankings to see Hargon first on 1036 points, with a big gap from the second place Yolche. Yuan noting the 5th and 3rd rank elven siblings Alador and Paladinte, who both become rankers, whilst he has never heard of Yolche or the 4th place Lee Sung-yoon. Yuan checks his stats, thinking his strength and stamina are now too high, so he'll need to balance it. He then leaves the cave and uses Cinder Eyes to scout the surroundings, rankings, finding an outpost of orcs and making his way toward them. With the flick of a finger, he tests his new skill, Colossal Fire, summoning a swirl of fire throughout the camp, then diving into the chaos and cutting down an orc in one stroke, now at 67 points. His eyes burning, with 6 days to beat the tutorial faster than Odin. Time passes and Hargon is now only a couple hundred points ahead of Yuan. Him and his teammate Lee Sung-yoon talking about how they wish to bring Yuan in. Sung-yoon joking about how Yuan may soon overtake him, but Hargon says, well, that's just cause I was busy gathering these guys. His star-studded lineup now beginning their hunt, with Hargon thinking there is still a final spot left for Yuan. Half a day later, Hargon and his team following Paladinte's skill find a dungeon, but when they enter, he notices that there was no discovery message. Sung-yoon then tells his captain to check the ranks, where they find Kim Won-yoon now topping the rankings, more than 100 points ahead of Hargon. Ticked off by this, Hargon vents by blitzing through the monsters in the cave, then telling the others to split into teams as there is a forked road. Sung-yoon, Yeolche, and Alador's team fighting their way through the dungeon eventually come across a giant gate, the 3 big shots concluding it must be a boss room. Then, Sung-yoon gets startled after checking the ranks, the earth shaking immediately after. Yeolche tells everyone to get in position with the commotion seemingly from behind the gate. The group then enter the boss room, but the attack is already over. Only the silhouette of the menacing Kim Yuan staring down on them in the room covered in blood from atop the boss monster's corpse. Yuan telling the new arrivals, you're a little late. The team of elites left stunned that Yuan was able to take down this monster alone, wondering if their captain, who they recognize as the strongest, could do so. Sung-yoon steps forward and talks to Yuan, asking if he would like to join since he is alone. Yuan then glances over the team, noticing this must be part of Hargon's team since Alador is here, also paying attention to Yeolche, who ranked after Hargon. He thinks that he gathered really good teammates, but when Sung-yoon presses for an answer, he bluntly rejects them with a no thanks. Yeolche then explains that given the time limit, it's been set up for them to work together to clear it without problems. But Yuan just says, so their talk then interrupted by another earthquake. Alador explaining she contacted the team leader, so he's on his way. A streak of lightning then flashing toward the center of the room, with Hargon emerging from it, yelling out Yuan's name, now face to face with him. Without hesitation, Yuan effortlessly slams his head into the corpse of the boss monster below, everyone in his team flinching and grimacing at the sight. Yuan then asking them if what they want is survival or to become a ranker. This statement shocking the pureblood Yeolche, since a non-pureblood like Yuan shouldn't know of rankers. Rankers being those who overcome all tests in the tower and have attacked all flaws in it, gaining fame, immortality, and power. Yuan, who sees this as only a step in his journey, saying he has no interest in stuff like that. Yeolche clenching her teeth at his arrogance, asking if not that, then are you aiming to be a high ranker? But Yuan, pointing to the skies with a clear tone and straight face, declares, I will destroy the ceilings of the tower. The disbelieving atmosphere of the others then snapped by the sudden bounce back of Hargon, who asks what was that for? Yuan blankly stating he thought he was attacking, but the annoyed Hargon says he was just going to grab him. His rage then quelled when Yuan calls him a strong person when explaining why he acted. His teammates astonished he believed that. Hargon then declares that he shouldn't look down on him cause he will one day become the king of Olympus, his ambition leaving a slight smirk on Yuan's face. The determined pureblood then offering a bet where if he and his team kill the boss first and accumulate the most contribution points, Yuan will join them. And if Yuan and any team he may form wins, he'll serve him as his young Nim or big brother. However, Yuan changes the terms to Hargon helping him just once when he needs his help. Hargon accepts and boisterously sends him off, whilst our boy thinks he's got too much energy. Hargon then jumps down and tells his teammates to prepare to hurry up even more, but is interrupted by Yuan, who informs him that they won't need to rush, pointing to the remaining time left, saying the time won't be moving for the time being. If you enjoyed the vid, like, sub, and comment below. Peace.